The scene opens on two friends seated outside a coffee shop. It is a nice day, and traffic continues past at a steady clip.
And that's why I don't think they've thought through the downsides.
Exactly.
Plus, why move away from the safety of the core worlds? Seriously, I think people just want to get themselves into trouble.
Uh-huh.
Russ, are you listening?
I'm so sorry, Millie. I was just checking my messages, and my cousin scored tickets to the premiere of Deathbot 3.
You like that garbage?
Oh, come on. It's good. Also, I heard good things about the new lead they cast. Someone who really stands for Signian values. I mean, Jamin was great in the first few, but fame went to his head, and now he's some kind of bleeding heart speaking out against the corpse.
Oh, I remember him from a vampire movie. He was kind of cute.
That's the movie you remember him from? Maybe you're the one with bad taste.
Anyway, that's just the kind of thing I'm talking about. People are just causing trouble for no reason. This little conflict with that cult, entitled remote colonies trying to drain the core dry with their demands, and workers thinking they know better than their bosses.
Can't disagree with you. Still, it's a shame. So what are you doing after this?
I'm meeting with the Undersecretary for Corporate Accountability today. Need to see about greasing some wheels.
For what, exactly?
Nothing you need to know about, Mr. Private Finance.
Oh, come on, Millie. You know the contracts you pull her out of my sphere anyways. Who am I really going to tell?
I still can't tell you, but let's just say that reconstruction contracts are going to need lots of new bidders. And it would be better for a lot of people's bottom line if we didn't compete with each other too hard. How about you? Unless I heard you're dealing with that troublesome client.
The scene pulls away from the coffee shop and climbs up and up, showing a vast city. The view climbs some more, rising up through the clouds and up through the atmosphere, until the dark of space becomes the new backdrop. The view shifts onto a massive nearby ship hovering in the vast emptiness, orbiting the world below. The scene advances onto the bridge of the ship. Banks of machinery rimming the outer edge of this long curved room are monitored by people in formal cut uniforms. An important-looking man, wearing a more ornate uniform with a complex pattern emblazoned on the shoulder, stands on a raised dais at the center of it all.
My lord, no signs that the fleet has been detected. All the captains have reported in and are in position.
Excellent. What is the last known status of the strawmen on the ground?
Per last report, they have taken shelter.
Good.
We await your orders.
Begin the bombardment.
Welcome back to CCRPG. We are going to move on to our next round, which means, Todd, you will be our focus for the round.
Cool. Alrighty. And as the focus, as the lens, I
the
declare
lens
the
who
focus.
decides the
Aha.
focus. You could be our focus. I could go up into the focus
Yeah.
note card and just write Todd on there. He's the focus for the
I'm
round.
the focus. We have to create my mirror character, my stand-in.
Space Todd.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you putting under the microscope then?
So
Ooh.
my focus, I think, will be negotiations, or rather, attempts at peace. Attempts at making peace.
Oh, I love this. Oh, you set me up so well, man.
Oh no. That's not what you want to hear? No, I'm sure it'll be good.
Hold on. I'm gonna go in there. Let me do this.
Oh, peace is now in scare quotes.
Yep. Emphasis mine.
Great.
All right, that's great, Todd. As the lens, when you make history this round, you can do a nested history,
That's right.
which means you can do a period plus event or an event plus scene.
Okay. I am going to do an event, and it's going to go under the final cataclysmic battle has led to an uneasy truce between two sides. So the event is, let me see, what do you call, I guess a peace negotiation, or like I'll say ceasefire negotiation between both sides. How do I spell negotiation?
Peace talks?
Yeah.
I put it in chat.
Well, I wouldn't even say, ceasefire, peace talks.
Peace talks, sure.
I kind of think of it more of a ceasefire than a peace.
It is 100% a ceasefire. That's already established by the lore. We know this is an ongoing conflict when we pick back up.
Right. But aspirationally, they may be trying to reach like a full peace agreement.
I'm sure some people think that.
Yeah. So put / peace talks, and then okay, there it is. So that's an event. You know what? I don't right now have a good like scene for that. The nested thing is optional, right?
It is optional. You can just make an event.
I'm just gonna leave it at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. If people have a thought of like a scene that could go under, I'm interested in hearing that. Maybe when it wraps back to me. Well, it won't wrap back to me, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. And we'll see where it goes.
Just to clarify,
maybe you're saying this just by clearing this up, but like, can I ask, how is this different than the negotiation scene that we had before exactly?
Which negotiation scene?
Where the mandate Inquisition guy got killed by his squire.
Oh, well,
that was the negotiation for peace talks at that time.
It was not successful.
The ceasefire, but
I don't think any terms were made. And we know from
not the portion we played out. Yeah.
I think from this period we've established that there is a truce between two sides. We haven't established if it was an unspoken or an official truce. So I think
you're making it an official ceasefire.
But yes, by introducing this event, I think follow-up talks were had, and an official sort of ceasefire with terms has been made.
Yeah, I see that as a meaningful difference, because that means at the start of the next game, it's not just they aren't fighting each other because they're not fighting each other or licking their wounds. It's they're not fighting each other because there is like a tenuous treaty or something.
Yeah. And what you're describing is what I thought the calm was, the unspoken, right, ceasefire. Is kind of what I thought that was. Yeah,
the calm is
I just wanted to clarify for the sake of clarifying, because I didn't want to assume what you meant from that.
No, great points. Yeah, the calm is like sort of that unspoken, like it's just a lull in the conflict, where this is like a more of an official truce. And I imagine going into these like negotiations, the recent killing of the mandate negotiator plays heavy on everyone's mind as they're kind of discussing and working towards this ceasefire.
All right. Do you think this is light or dark?
I think this is light.
Light?
It is the darkest of dark.
Because there are peace talks between both sides to reach something more official.
Yeah. Obviously there gray areas, complexities, but overall, it's not fighting, killing.
We could probably use some more light stuff anyway.
That's great, Todd. Thank
Alright.
you. Then we come to me, yes?
Yes.
Indeed.
I will make history. Todd is so funny. You could not have set me up better if I had told you what I was thinking about before we started the game. You have played right into my hands.
And for the record, you did not.
Yeah. I'll end here. So what I'm going to do is a dictated scene, where I'm directly going immediately into the thing Todd came up with, the event here. The ceasefire negotiations and peace talks between both sides. Actually, I'm having trouble deciding if what I'm doing is a dictated scene or another event that takes place after this. I think it might be an event. I think it's an event. Because I'm not answering a question necessarily. It is I'm coming up with an event that existed. So the event that I'm placing just after Todd's, I'm calling the Treaty of Glace. This is an event where during ceasefire negotiations, an enterprising noble patriarch, like the head of one of the noble families from the Noesis Mandate, leads a blitz attack on Glace, one of the highest populated planets of the Signian core worlds, and is also the seat of where the first minister of the state kind of governs from. They indiscriminately started destroying infrastructure, residential areas, and everything on the planet, forcing the state to take a worse deal to end negotiation and start the peace so that they could salvage the planet. It kind of forced the Signians to negotiate from a position of weakness and take a worse deal going into the treaty. So I'm calling this the Treaty of Glace. It is a unequitable treaty that favors slightly the Noesis Mandate because the core worlds were willing to sign it just to make the devastation stop.
Almost like a surrender.
Yeah, they could have, they have hundreds of worlds. They could have let that world get glassed. It would have been bad for them to do that, though, because it is literally where their head of state governs from. It is one of the largest planets of the core worlds. In my head, there was already a uneasiness and a weakness of the citizens being I can't believe these people came out of nowhere and are actually causing us trouble, right? If the Cygnus state has a mental superiority, they think they're better than everyone else, then the Noesis Mandate socking them in the face really hurt their pride a lot.
Yeah, definitely. That's interesting.
And in my head, no one knows how this head of this noble family pulled it off. Why wasn't it picked up ahead of time? Why didn't anyone see this coming? How did a surprise attack show up at one of the core worlds and just start bombing the place without anyone knowing what was happening? I am unsurprisingly making this dark.
Who would have thunk?
Todd was like, I'm going to introduce some light into the situation, Bob. Nope.
No, sir. All right, that is my history.
Does this noble family have a name, or is that something to be?
I haven't decided on which noble family it is yet.
Okay.
We could figure that out today. If someone has cool ideas for it, we could absolutely do that as part of this. But if it goes unresolved, I'm sure I'll think of something.
Oh, guess what? I think we're going to address it right now. I was thinking about doing a... So, I wanted to do a scene, so like this would probably be a played scene between the noble families discussing the state of the war, saying like like maybe there's one family that is like enough is enough. We've taken some losses. We need to establish a peace, and then there's another family that is like no, we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. I think this would be under ceasefire negotiations and peace talks on both sides begins. I
Okay.
think that's the best
Yeah.
place to put that.
Let
And
me
then
let me
that
move
would
things
lead,
around for you.
That would lead to the Treaty of Glace, I think.
Just
Because
gonna
I
make
think it'd be
room
interesting
for
to
your
see, like,
scene.
we haven't really explored
like
too much.
internal noesis kind of like power structure and stuff.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting to explore. So, the required, I think this is a meeting between the heads of different families.
So first of all, what's the question?
What was the outcome of this meeting between noble families on establishing peace talks?
Okay.
The required. So these are all going to be heads of families. We need at least one family on the side of like, let's just make peace, like very pro peace, and then we need one family just like let's take them for all they're worth. So like sort of like two sides of the coin, basically.
So real quick, these noble families, are these Cygnus families or
No,
Mandate.
these we've talked about this a little bit, but it might bear helping everyone think about this. If I go back over, the Noesis mandate is a divine meritocracy. The religion is the main government. The Noesis mandate is the government, but they have noble families. Like it is a semi feudalistic society. These families are each in charge of either major sectors back where the Noesis mandate comes from, or specific industries. And their family members, unsurprisingly, keep getting appointed to high-level positions because who else has the resources to train their family to be the best of the best? You know what I mean? It's like a kind of weighted meritocracy, right? It's like we only hire the best people because they're the best, but also they're the best people because you invested a lot of money into making them the best, kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. And so Chuck, this is a scene, you
Yes.
said?
Yes.
Okay. So that sounds good. The only thing I just note is the event is between are negotiations between both sides, meaning the Cygnus side as well. But maybe this is something like these are side talks that are happening like in between negotiation.
That's exactly what I'm describing.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what
cool.
I interpret it as. This is like them talking to each other about how they're going to address these negotiations. Like,
Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly.
we're huddling up about how we're going to go talk to the Cygnians.
I'm with you. I'm on the same page.
So part of it is like I kind of want to do a kind of a lead up to the Treaty of Glace, because like obviously this hadn't been planned to attack. So like I want to see how the noble families are approaching this, because like there's different ways we can get to this point. Is it like one noble like just basically saying, yeah, we're doing this, fuck you guys, or what was this a planned out thing? So
Well, don't give us too much about what you're planning here, and give us some people that need to be in it.
I did. The two requirements, and they've already been typed in chat. One family on peace side, one on exploit side, and then, whoever else people want to add in.
So I guess one family representative, you mean?
Yeah. So assume this is a meeting between family heads of the different houses.
Are these different sides? I don't think peace and exploit are necessarily different.
I think I was just typing this as reminders to what Chuck said out loud.
Yeah.
so that we would remember this. Chuck said he wants one family to be super about peace and one family to be super about let's take them for all they're worth.
Exactly.
Like, interpret what I wrote down however you want. I was just trying to remember what Chuck was saying as he was talking.
Sure.
Like maybe the peace
but
side
there's
is
not
more
a specific, you're not adding a name or something to these people. You're just saying a family.
Yeah, we don't have...
Okay.
As established previously, we haven't really established any names yet, and maybe that's something we do as part of the scene. Just make up some
we could
noble
do that
names.
here.
Well, yeah, I thought that's what you would do is creating the scene. Yeah.
I wasn't going to pick the names. I figured it'd be more interesting to let everyone take a crack at like a noble family name.
Got it.
Just like we don't have these people don't have to be represented here, but just to give some insight on how I've been naming the Noesis people up till now, and this is not really a guide in any way, it's just how I've been doing it, is all their last names kind of have to do with a type of manufacturing business. So for example, Velium, right? Casper, Cass Velium's family is also the family that deals with a lot of paper and books and that industry, right? Like, they're a little bit of a what are the things called? Monopoly, right? I was looking up the other name. Why couldn't I? I don't know why I couldn't find it. In E2705, there was the guy who was with at E27 Saros, right? Maximus Saros. Saros is just another word for like horn, like ivory and stuff like that. So they're all kind of named after materials, but that is not a thing that needs to hold. You can come up with whatever fun noble family name you guys can come up with.
Okay. I think then you would go first, Bob, with the character, right? You go counterclockwise.
No, it goes to the right.
Does it go to the right?
Because it's because it's starting with Chuck, so it'll go to the right. So
Wait,
you just want,
a couple questions before we begin. What is the question of the scene we're trying to answer?
The question is, what is the outcome between this meeting and nobles on a discussion on peace talks? What do they come to the conclusion on?
Okay.
It's a very broad question.
Oh, I should be creating... I'm sorry. I just realized I never created a sticky. I'll do it right now. So you said it's to the right, Bob?
What's that? Yeah. It'll go around to the right from you.
Okay. So my right would... My
right
so
would be me.
Right.
Oh, okay.
No, his right.
No,
so opposite,
no.
normal clockwise.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
Yeah. Imagine we're all facing towards the center of the table. So it'll go counterclockwise. So your two required is just a family that's on the side of like an actual piece.
Yeah. Versus
and then
like,
a family that's on the size of like, when you say like take them for all they're worth, do you mean like continue the war or figure out a way to fuck with the treaty or whatever they're trying to do?
They're very pro imbalanced agreement. So like what ends up being the outcome of the Treaty of Glace?
Okay. I am going to be a minor noble family. I'm going to be the head of a minor noble family that is trying to like break into relevancy. I'm just going to call them the Lavos family. So I'm going to call him Lev Lavos.
Suddenly, a giant lava creature from another dimension appears out of
nowhere. Lev is already a thing in this game. I'm gonna transition. I'm gonna be a lady, and I'm gonna be Liv Lavos is going to be the head of this family, the matriarch of the Lavos family.
Live, laugh, Lavos.
Live, laugh, Lavos. Exactly. It's on all of the plaques in golden embroidery all around my extravagant mansion. So just to be explicit, I am not taking one of your two requirements. I'm playing just a upstart noble family that's trying to like become relevant, but hasn't come down on either of these sides.
Okay. I will play the representative of the family on the east side. And I will, yeah. And it will be I'll play a character called Suzanne Literae.
Literae?
Yeah, Latin for literature. Yes, that's right. What you put in chat.
Perfect. And you're the Peace family.
Correct.
Cool.
I would like to play a person that I know fairly well, Steve. I would like to be called in as someone who has enough of a unique perspective of things going on in the core worlds and everything that is there as like an advisor / like question asker, you know, like, so when they're there and they're like, well, how does this work in their society, Steve can be like, hey, when I was there it was like this, you know.
You're a subject matter expert.
Yeah, the SME for sure.
The SME.
I'm the SME of the group. Yeah.
Yes, let's get some more corporate lingo in here.
I don't know if his last name would have changed or not.
That's a good question.
So I'm not. He's just Steve right now. We'll see what happens there.
Actually, I don't think they would use corporate lingo. You would probably be like special advisor to the man. You know what I mean? It would be very.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why I was like,
just Steve.
Yeah.
It would be very ritualistic, your name, whatever it would be. It would be either ornate or like some sort of like exploit based name, like, oh, you're, this, we'll figure it out. But I don't think SME fits.
No, I wasn't planning on using that.
Does Steve have like an official title, or I guess that'll come up in discussion?
Well, that's what I think we're talking about right now. So yeah, I don't know.
All right, that's fine. We can figure it out as we play if it feels right, or we can come up with it later.
Jeremy, might I suggest the Ghost of Ruination Conditioning?
I really wanted to show up in some way. It's kind of impossible.
Hey, no giving other people good ideas. He has to come up with genius ideas on his own, Todd.
All right. Well, I'm going to be a noble, but not of peace or of exploit. I'm going to be a noble who's pushing for continuation of the war.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Do you have a name, or at least a family name or anything?
Augustus Ceres.
Perfect. Love it. And then your war.
War were declared.
Yeah.
Not war were declared. The war must continue.
Yeah. War will continue until morale improves. All right, Chuck, that leaves you left, and you have a required position to fill.
I figured as much. So
you're going to be you're going to be the exploit family.
I'm going to be the head of House Marconde. I haven't figured out the guy's name. It's definitely going to be an older gentleman. I just need to come up with a name of an old noble man. I immediately thought of the royal family, and my brain went to Prince Charles, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's my name.
I'm Prince Charles.
I am not doing Prince Charles.
Well, you can't just
King
say that in the
Charles
recording.
now.
Everyone
You're
will
right.
know, Chuck. You can't. Thought we were keeping that a secret. What do you mean?
Just looking around for inspiration.
But are you actually looking around your room for like something to name? Or?
I need a name of this guy.
His name is propel water bottle.
Propellus.
Hydroflow.
Do you want to help? Do you want help in some way?
I'm open
Well,
to
you
suggestions.
pick the last name, right? Why don't you
Yeah.
type that out? Nice. And your exploit the situation.
Yeah.
Mary Merchand.
Sorry?
Mary Merchand.
Actually, I was just thinking Harry, so you're not too far off the mark. Harold.
Harold, that's great. Love it.
Let's say Harold Harrison, maybe. Whatever.
Mhm.
Harold works. It's great.
All right,
Okay,
so
yeah,
we've all
that's my name.
chosen characters. Now we go back through and we all reveal thoughts. So we go around the table to the right again, and then starting with me, and then each one of our characters is going to reveal either what we're expecting to do going into this scene or what we're thinking about heading into this scene. So I'm going in as Liv Lavos, and what Liv is thinking about when she's entering the scene is aside from some of the head family members that are out in the field right now, so they couldn't come to this meeting. These are some of the most important families in the Noesis Mandate. I need to find someone here who will be a good ally for my family. That's what I'm thinking going into this.
All right. Suzanne, coming into this is concerned that if the war continues, it will continue indefinitely, and the Noesis Mandate will start to lose the goodwill they've started to build with the people of the Cygnus state.
Probably not a lot of goodwill after the bloodbath, but
Yeah.
Steve isn't concerned per se about the war one way or the other. Steve is concerned about narrow-mindedness and these people not taking everything into the full picture, right? Like, he understands that the war is a big deal, but he also understands that there's other things out there that could potentially hinder them greatly. So he's wanting to keep in mind the third parties of things like the Conclave, and keep those things, make sure people are aware of those as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of narrow-mindedness, Augustus believes that peace is a sign of weakness, and does not want the war to end. He believes the absolute truth that the mandate cannot be defeated.
He's a true believer.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Okay. Yeah. we need patriots, which is something I wish I would say out loud, but that's beside the point. Harold is, I think he's open to the idea piece. I don't think he's trying to argue that. I feel like he's thinking that there's no point in peace if there's nothing to gain from it, though. So he's trying to make sure that the mandate has the upper hand, or rather comes to benefit from this.
Even if the war must stop, we still must gain more than the Cygnus state does from this peace, right?
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Otherwise, what's the point? And if we have nothing to gain from this peace, then why not just continue the war? I think he's thinking this very transactional. So yeah, I think so. We established our thoughts, and I guess we just get started then.
So after we've all revealed thoughts, we now play the scene. You have you kind of already set the stage, but tell us where we come into this, since you're the one heading the scene up, Chuck.
Sure. This is in a large meeting hall. Let's just say this is at the Mercon estate. I'm the one who, agreed to host this meeting. Maybe this is one of many, or maybe this is not the first one we've had. But just a very large table, and there's some servants with fancy space appetizers or hors d'oeuvres like space. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the name. Fish eggs. Caviar. Space caviar. There's space caviar and little finger sandwiches, and people are slowly filing into the room. And Harold is in his seat, sort of twiddling his thumbs, like he's itching to get this discussion started. And I assume people are just filing in as part to get ready for this meeting.
As Liv sits down at her chair, I imagine she is like handed some like a pamphlet or a thing of like information from one of her aides or like one of her assigned guides to give her some additional information that she's like reviewing as she waits for the meeting to start.
Suzanne just takes her seat and waits patiently, staring at Harold. But you can't quite read her expression.
Yeah, I'd say, what kind of expression is she making? Is this like frustration, amusement? Like, how are you staring at me? I need the details.
It's you can't read it. It's neutral looking, but she's got her eyes on Harold.
Augustus walks into the room, disapproving look at everyone, believing everyone else is below him, and sits down, arms crossed.
Well, I believe, as Harold kind of perks up, he's like, I believe we have all the members of the noble house. Are we expecting anyone else?
I think Liv looks around at the assembled people and go, I was under the impression that there were supposed to be more people joining us. Is everyone busy?
Yes. Well, with all this talk of peace talks, I mean, everyone's trying to get their affairs in orders, and, there's so much happening at once that a few people declined. But I believe we have enough at least to establish a quorum. Is that the word? Wow, I'm failing at words today.
Yeah, quorum. Sort of what you're going for.
I did hear that we were going to get a representative. Maybe to give us some more insight on the side of the Signa State? Is that what I've heard?
Liv looks around, is like, who?
I don't recall his title. I just remember I've been told he's very important, and his insight would be useful. And I'll just look to, I don't know, my nearest butler, Jenkins. Do we have a representative here? Yes, sir. Oh, God. How do I do a butler voice?
Fucking flawless, Charles. God.
So there is a Steve here at the door, waiting for his audience.
Am I not there? What?
Are you sitting here already?
I thought so.
Well, you never spoke up, and I was like, okay, Steve's not here.
Oh, sure, okay. Wait, I'm representing Cygnus now? I thought this was someone representing... I'm so confused.
No, I think what he meant was you're representing the intelligence we have on the Cygnians.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I
like
thought this was a new character you're adding.
Like
I'm
our expert on the Cygnians.
I was wondering if you're just trying to give Chuck a hard time by not picking up on
it. I thought it was something completely different.
You never said you were in the room, so I assumed that you needed like something to introduce you. So that was my intent there.
I'm sorry. I just assumed I was there. I didn't realize I needed to say something about that. My bad.
Yeah,
well, you can be. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you there, or do we need to let the butler let you in?
Yeah, I'm there, sitting there.
Oh,
I'm not important. Like, I'm here for you to like ask questions to, but I'm not gonna like announce myself or anything to the noble families here. So,
I think Liv would actually say, "We have an expert. What family do they represent?"
I honestly have no idea.
Well, if they don't represent a family, are they really that important then?
I think I'm going to represent my guide, my assigned guide assistant, who's going to whisper in my ear and point in Steve's direction. Oh, you're here.
Yes, I am.
I thought he was one to help this whole time.
No, I'm just here to assist with any questions you might have on Cygnus.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Okay. I'm sure your insight will be valuable. Anyway, on the topic of these peace talks, I have to admit that I'm not happy in the direction these things are going. I feel like that we are the Cygnus, these animals. I mean, I don't understand why are we giving them the time of day? I understand the need for peace, sure, but I mean, like, do we really need to be giving up so much just to establish what is basically a ceasefire?
Peace can only be started once we've controlled the Cygnus state. Anything less is worthless.
Agreed.
If I may. Once all
Yes.
eyes are on Suzanne, she begins.
Yes.
When you discipline a misbehaving child, one shows softness after they've learned their lesson. One cannot always be raising a retaliatory hand.
Sure, but you don't give them candy for it. We're not going to cede some of our acquired lands just for this misbehaving child.
We have established our dominance. It is only a matter of time before the Cygnus state falls. We should not hasten it at the expense of losing support among the citizenry. They need someone to look up to. They need examples. We are showing them we are not like the barbarians they have long suffered under.
I think Liv, to be polite, is like nodding along with what you say, but trying not to depict herself as too committal to agreeing with you.
Like, interesting point.
Exactly.
I wonder where I stand.
Well, okay, very well. So there's a little bit of a loss here, yes. But I mean, like, how long will this even last? Like, I've heard from our generals that we can't afford to do anything short term. It needs to be a long-standing peace in order to at least bolster our resources, and then that I much understand. But I mean, it does not sit well with me. I must confess.
What does not sit well with you?
Just even entertaining this idea to begin with.
I understood that you wanted to extract some sort of ceasefire. Is that no longer the case? Are you allying yourself with Saris?
I am. I just feel like we should be getting more from these talks than just a simple exchange of peace terms. Like we should be offered more. If anything, they should be gracious to be on our good side. The fact that we're having this peaceful discussion, like they need to be more enthusiastic about this. I mean,
well, and they will.
Wouldn't it be a boon to be like working with the Nubi's mandate?
They will, but we must show them first. Do not mistake my position for softness. But I believe we are responsible for teaching a lesser group of people They need to understand what peace looks like. If we overplay our hand, we can compromise all of that.
But are they even open to it? Can they be taught? Steve, was it? These people are they willing to learn? That is, I guess, that is my question.
He ponders the question for a moment and goes, it's difficult to speak for an entire society of people that has no understanding for where we come from or how we approach our problems. Their solutions are simply different than ours. While we see them as inferior and wrong many times, their solutions sometimes do passively advance them in their own way. I've made attempts to change the minds of some in my time in Cygnus, and it is a difficult battle. I think that we have made enough advancements to show that we mean business and that we will take things from them. It's how much they're willing to hold on to these things that we would take is in how important they are, whether they're going to respond to us in any way. I believe it's possible, but I believe it would be incredibly difficult.
Yeah, we've seen... Oh, go ahead.
And Steve, you spent some time, you said, just now in Cygnus space, cavorting with its people. Maybe you can shine some light on some of the questions we had previously. What is your read on the status of their resilience? Do you think they'll buckle soon? Is this peace even necessary, or can we soldier forward, as Lord Marchand seems to represent?
I would personally like to shy away from anything that could be seen as siding on one way or the other. I believe it's a decision that you all will make much better than I would myself. But I do think that there are challenges both ways. Peace could be an amazing thing for both sides if they're willing to cooperate to an extent, but I do not think it would last forever. The one thing that I've seen from them, and it's not even the government, it's not their leaders in charge that is concerning. It is the resilience of the people that they have. It's concerning. Freedom means a lot to them, and understanding rule and authority is secondary.
Yet, we've seen in the outer rim of the Cygnus state, a very resilient people lives there, yet they've accepted the Noesis mandate. Even before the Opsucon. What's it called?
Ambuscade. It's like ambush.
Yeah,
it's like fancy ambush.
Even before the ambuscade, we've established our presence there, and we've built a foothold. We can do the same in the core worlds, but we need to build that goodwill. And continuing this conflict indefinitely will not achieve that. We should not forget what our core purpose is. It's to spread our message and the rightness of our message.
If I may add to that, and I don't disagree with anything that you're saying, for every person that would listen to the mandate and follow our rules, there's 4 to 5 others that won't and will fight back. Just because we have peace with Cygnus State doesn't mean that all our battles will stop. There will still be fighting and defenses going on.
Do you propose we try to convince those 4 or 5 other people that this is the way? Give them a reason.
They will see reason once we are rolling and in power.
I just worry that it may not happen soon enough. I worry that it may not happen soon enough. Is all I'm saying.
Perhaps they were just not raised rightly under the guidance of the Noesis Mandate. I'm
Clearly.
sure once we take control, the next generation or two of them will come to see the light as they are raised in our embrace.
Exactly.
Well,
And
then-
if we continue the fight, we only build their resilience and their rebellious spirit.
Well, then, since talks are unfortunately leading towards this end, I vote that we show them the true might of the mandate and the weakness of the Signa state, and do a decisive strike. Even if this does lead towards peace talks, it will show their people the weakness of the Signa state. And therefore, maybe we can get a little bit more out of these negotiations.
I'm not opposed. In the very least, we should remind them that, where they stand and where we stand.
Again, I see this as an unnecessary measure. We are already in a position of power. We need not overplay our hand.
Liv,
It
leans forward, and will just say, "A decisive strike, Lord Saris. Did you have something in mind already?"
Suzanne looks sharply at Liz because she had previously thought, she's agreeing with me.
Well, we know which world that the Signa state is primarily based out of. I vote we lead a single decisive strike, wreak as much havoc as we can, and then retreat. As much damage with as few casualties, and therefore use that as leverage. Few casualties on our side, I mean to say.
If I'm understanding this correctly, you are essentially asking to put the proverbial ball in their court by making a show of force so strong that they want to declare peace with us on our conditions instead of reaching out to them.
Of course, if peace seems to be the unfortunate necessity, we want to have the upper hand, and them asking for peace is a sign of weakness.
But the opposite is also possible. By doing this, they could retaliate and the war could be intensified from it.
You just see him grin. Then I guess I win on both ends, don't I?
See, he has no regard for peace.
I
His
see
only
this as-
interest is...
I only see this as a gentle nudge. A nudge in the desired direction to say that this is where we stand. We may be making peace. We are still better than you.
we
And
must...
I think we can all agree on that.
And besides,
It's not about being better than them. We have the benefit of our experience and wisdom. We must be seen as parental figures to the citizenry of the Cygnus state. Not conquerors, not cruel occupiers. And if we do this, we only build their impetuous nature.
And to prove a point to Suzanne, by striking at the heart of the Cygnus state, this will prevent us from dragging your perceived constituents to from harm. Therefore, we're not dragging them into this strike.
Liv will say, there's probably a way we can tell this story. That, of course, we're striking at the corrupt heart of your government. We don't have quarrel with your people. We simply wish to unseat the shackles above you so you can come to the enlightenment of the mandate.
I like that. That's an excellent idea.
I'm creating a secondary character right now who is just a mandate guide who's in the corner of the room, who's just here for guide reasons, looks at Liv and nods his head approvingly, yes, that is the dogmatic answer.
you've spoken correctly.
Suzanne gives out a long sigh and says, if we were to do this, my family must have control over the propaganda we distribute to them, the messaging that is communicated to them.
Just make sure you have the message out, the message prepared, so that as soon as the strike is complete, we can send out our message before the Cygnus state has a chance to respond.
It must be done with a light touch, a subtle touch, to contrast the rather blunt approach we are taking here. I concede that it may work, but you need our family's expertise in messaging to see it through.
I see no problem with that.
I'm deciding that this family is almost like a media empire of sorts, you know.
I love it.
So
Hello,
they
Noesis Mandate Terratella.
/ like PR firm.
You could totally be like the family that's like the the people that were like the market people, but they were also patrons of the art and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The merchendi. Why can't I remember their name?
I know what you mean. Shoot.
It's that Italian family.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
The Italian
It's a
family.
show about them. I know exactly what you're talking. You got it close, I think, with
We'll figure it out some other day.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll come to us after we finish recording.
Yeah.
After that, Steve just kind of says, may I add one more possible bit of information that might be helpful or relevant?
Please.
Yes.
You've all read the reports from the Alloy family's informants about the Conclave and their recent gatherings.
Medici. Sorry.
The Medici is correct. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Sorry about that.
You said the Alloy family's reports. Yes, something about some rogue group or another in the state.
Steve nods. Many of the people that I'm discussing when I say the people of the system. This is an interesting take and idea that we have laid out for us. Showing weakness to the main core states could, in turn, fracture some of the stability that the core worlds have over their people. And if we were to perhaps even persuade, whether with information or backing in some way, this conclave to take action against their people, infighting would only serve to make us stronger. We don't need to be at war with them for them to not be at war with themselves.
So you're saying you would like to support some of the fractious factions during the peace?
We've had some tenuous conflicts with them in the past, but if they're able to look past such things, then maybe we could have a new tip of a spear to send at the core worlds, so to speak.
Have you any thought where we can drive this wedge in the conclave? Which groups are susceptible?
As I understand it, the conclave is currently working as a whole, a single unit to the best of their abilities. I think sending them towards the core worlds would be the best solution for our problems. And if nothing else, it would keep the core worlds busy while we are working for the next phase of our plans, whatever they may be.
It sounds like you have experience with this group. Do you have contacts within that you could reach out to, or a way that we could send resources and guidance their direction?
I did work closely with them for quite a while, although I don't think I myself would be a good contact. I have names and information that we can use, yes, of course.
A subtle approach. I like it.
Nothing quite like the people taking back their own lands just for a proper ruler to come in and help them rule it accordingly.
Exactly.
Right.
Liv will sit back in her chair a little bit and say, well then, do we have our course set then? It seems like we found our rudder.
I would say so, yes. I am in agreement with this plan.
It's fine for the moment, I suppose.
Yeah.
As long as House Litterai is here to right the course, should we be led astray. I think we are all in agreement.
We must use the resources that are best suited to your role, and you are the best house for this sort of work.
She just nods like, I know.
You don't have to remind me.
All right.
All right.
Did we answer the question?
Yes.
I think so.
Yep.
All right. What's your answer then, Chuck? What is the outcome on a discussion between nobles on the topic of peace talks?
Yeah, the outcome was to plan a strike on one of the core system cities and to direct the conclave to act as a sort of distraction.
Incite rebellion, yeah.
Incite rebellion.
Further incite.
Yeah, that might be the better way of putting it.
A decisive strike to fracture the government and then incite rebellion to spread the cracks, I suppose.
These cards can't be, a whole page. So let's
that's
succinct as possible. And then this was a played scene, so we should all discuss. Do we think this was light or dark?
Dark.
Feels dark.
Dark because it's side deals happening during negotiations ostensibly for peace.
It is a conspiracy to commit a massacre, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go dark here.
That's a good way of
That's
a good way of putting it very concisely.
All right.
Chuck, while you finish your note card there, I'll help you resize it and stuff. Don't worry about that. Let's rotate around to Jeremy.
Okay. Attempts at peace. Oh boy. Okay.
Ironically, this was an attempt at war, sort of in the midst of creating peace.
This is an attempt at peace, a very one-sided,
Yeah.
helps one person peace, but
Hey, the word peace was involved in the discussion.
I mean,
that counts.
Every war that ends with the victor creates peace for that victor, I guess.
Okay. I'm going to introduce an event at the start of the calm. And I'm going to say that the calm was a point of there weren't actual ceasefire negotiations. There was like a period where no real conflicts. I'm going to say that during at the start of the calm, there was an attempt to from the side of Cygnus to figure out what's going on, who are you, why are you here, can we talk? Like, there was the ambuscade and there was all this battle, but this was the first attempt at peace talks. Whether or not that succeeded is a different matter.
Like diplomacy, right?
Yes.
Like
first attempt by diplomacy initiated by the Cygnus state would probably be the
and
best way.
how did that go? Because remember when we do events, we also know the outcome of it. Like what resulted from the attempt at diplomacy with the Noesis mandate?
I'm going to say, I'm going to say it appeared to work, but because there was no treaty, neither side was willing to back down on building up resources and or for potential conflicts. Like there was some talks, but nothing really came of them, I guess.
Okay, so ultimately ineffectual
Yes,
attempts
ineffectual
at
diplomacy.
Okay.
All right. And then text. Okay.
All right, excellent. Let me pull that out here for you. And is this light or dark?
I'm going to say this is light. It was an attempt was made.
And an attempt at diplomacy was made, and both sides seemed to back off it for a while, even though nothing official got penned.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. There we go. That is Jeremy's make history, which means we wrap around to Jay.
Yeah, I'm typing it up right now.
Ooh, nice. Decisive.
He's got one in the bank.
One in the chamber.
Yeah.
1 second here.
I'm excited.
Let me fix Signian on this thing.
Part of the problem is I am looking at this, and this feels very close to complete. I really like that this is one of our last turns, because this is kind of like wrapping up in a, like, if we start adding too much more, it's like too much, you know?
Yeah. I think we got
that's kind of where I feel like I'm getting
backstory.
One thing I do think that we're missing is Corsac does not have a lot of knowledge about the mandate since the wars began, and I'm sure they've attempted to send in informants and get information about what's going on in the home worlds for the mandate, but I doubt that was successful until the Paladins were sent out to war in the Bloodbath. And then once they were, there was room for infiltration. So after the first conflict involving the Paladins, and while those Paladins are busy, Corsac sends their first agents into the Mandate's worlds successfully for the first time, and starts gathering information on them from their side.
That's cool. Yeah. And I like how it's towards the end of this time period. So we're like, the Signians are only just figuring out what the Noesis mandate is like really about and where they come from towards like the end of this conflict.
They've lacked the appropriate information to really even fight back in a lot of ways against them, because their fight is almost an ideological one, more so than anything else.
Yeah, no, I love that.
So all right, that's it. Simple, sweet, and I think that's good for me there.
Is that light or dark?
I'm gonna call it light, just because it's in opposition to the one before it.
Yeah, it's in the Bloodbath, which is dark, and if it's not dark enough to be dark in the Bloodbath, it should be light, according to the rules. Yeah. That is perfect. All right. Then we've done one full round. We now need to create a legacy. So, Jay, you're going to make our last legacy for the campaign. You can choose anything, even a person or even like an idea or an ideal that came up. Like, it doesn't have to be anything that's on a note card. Anything that happened this round that you are just like interested in can become your legacy.
Anything?
So, for example, the book says like you could even you could even choose like something fairly like esoteric, right? Like the loyalty of the knights to the crown, even though nothing on any of the cards has to do with the loyalty of the knight on the crown. But if we've seen in a scene how loyal the knights are to the crown during this round, that could be your legacy. It's literally anything you saw this round.
I think, can it be as simple as manipulation? All the different sides manipulating each other.
So it can't just be a generic contract. It has to be a specific. Let me give you what the book says, because it is interesting. It has to be something that appeared this round. Or reappearing. You're not making something new, just singling out something about the history. It has to be something specific from the history, not just a broad concept or idea. So betrayal is not a valid legacy because it's generic, but betrayal of the sea tribes works because it's something that happened.
Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna go with, I like the Treaty of Glace, and like what happened there. I think that's really interesting. So I think I am just going to pick that as the legacy.
All right, absolutely. And as our final player, are you making a note card, or do you want me to give you one?
Hold on, I'll just make one.
When you're done, I'll give it the appropriate gold fill color. But since you're now our final player, you also get to explore the legacy. You can pick any legacy on the field, including the one you just created, and you either make an event or a dictated scene about your legacy. Or the legacy that you choose, that is. So you can choose either Todd is, why do citizens support the mandate? Mine is the nanomachine countermeasures. Charles is the revolutional renaissance. Jeremy's is SMAC selected to be experimental technology pilots for the mandate. And then yours is the Treaty of Glace.
I think I want to do an event with the Treaty of Glace, and it is, let's go with Corsek's response to the I don't know what to call it, the loss, the downfall, the failure,
the dropping
right,
of the hammer
of the piece, right?
Yeah.
Because like you said before, like it was it wasn't ideal. It wasn't what they wanted. They were forced into it.
Totally.
Right? So like, how does that affect like the restructuring of their command structure? Like, where was the failing done? I think Corsec is investigating itself and what its failings are from the Treaty of Glace.
So is this Corsec or the Cygnus State entire?
The Cygnus State, excuse me, the Cygnus State. Cygnus State.
All right, so the event would then be the Cygnus State starts basically self-auditing to determine why it messed up, like trying to like...
Yeah. The question is like, why did we mess up? Is the event, right? Like that's like the event is how did we mess up? And the answer is they start investigating themselves and restructuring.
They're holding a retro.
So it's like a dictated scene. It's like we see, like if you're doing question and answer format, it's like a scene, right? Like a dictated scene.
I guess so. I don't have a scene in mind to play out. Like I don't have an overall answer. The answer is just that they are broken right now and looking for stability. And I don't know if that stability even stays with them, or maybe that stability is, maybe the mandate has more ideas. Maybe we should be working closer with some of them. You know what I mean? Like it's almost the answer is almost the instability itself is what I was thinking.
Yeah. So basically, as we go into season 3, the Cygnus State is going to be in like a restructuring to like figure out how it can right the sinking ship, so to speak.
Right. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, that it kind of like leaving a loose thread at the very, very tail end for us to pick up for in the next game is actually kind of elegant.
Thank you.
I'll move things around to give you some room under the Treaty of Glace there.
I don't know if I spelled Signa State right or whatnot, but
It's CY, Cygnus as in the constellation. They're literally called the Cygnus space because the Cygnus state has stretched into the Cygnian arm of the galaxy. That is how big humanity's like little empire has gotten.
okay. I'll just cover Jeremy. There we go.
Oh yeah, who needs that
fine.
guy, right?
Lighter, dark. I'm gonna say light because I think it's a level of self-reflection. Now, it might not end up light, but like it's a level of self-reflection that I think is positive in sight of something negative. So I'm gonna go with light on it. But I'm not sold on it. If anyone feels like dark should be here,
That is your choice,
that.
and I like your choice. So
Okay.
yeah. All right, excellent. Well, this, like Jay was saying earlier, this looks like a pretty full history. I think this was a successful experiment to see how we could, fill in the time in between for our upcoming Lancer game. I know I'm really excited about a lot of the ideas you guys came up with and seeing how we're going to kind of interpret those things and like role play in this world that we've created. I think it's going to be real fun.
Yeah, big changes in the works here.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's really funny. Chuck posted in Discord the murder board from Always Sunny. And I was just gonna make the joke. Bob is gonna set up like a murder board of all of this to make his notes for season 3.
It's so that I can explain to you why I killed your characters with like an insane nanomachine freak. I was like, if you look right here, you set it up. You told me I would get super soldiers. I'm just delivering.
When the AI revolution happens, Melissa is there.
He's ordering his red string from
You
Amazon.
put the gun in my hands.
I'm just moving time along. I didn't do anything. Don't look at me.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for the road to season 3. When we pick up, we will be returning to a set of characters living in this world during the Perseus conflict as we begin season 3 of Lancer War.
Oh boy.
Woo!
War.
Can't wait to see you all there. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Come.